Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, so it's time for my midweek pickup. Before I get started, Ted Cruz dropped out the race last night, so Donald Trump looks like he's going to be the Republican frontrunner, and the world's in trouble. So, with that being said, I get off of politics real quick and go on to what I wanted to talk about today. I don't have an actual topic today, so I might be kind of bouncing off the wall or whatever. But as you know, I get a lot of inspiration for my midweek pickups from my life and things that are going on in the world, of course, to try and keep people, up to date and try and help people out with problems that I may have been through, that people may be going through the same type of thing. If any of you follow me on Facebook, you've seen the post that I put up with Ricky Smiley talking. It was about 14 minutes, so I know that a lot of people look at time on things and they be like, up over 5 minutes, I'm not about to watch it. Or, usually if it's something positive, a lot of people don't watch it at all. It's all about, twerking and food, thankfully. And ignorance and violence. That's the only thing that really, probably 85% of the time, gets most play on social media sites. It's not a lot of positive, uplifting things. But I was listening to Ricky Smiley and I was listening to him tell his story. And a lot of it, of course, made a lot of sense. But a lot of it applies to me and a lot of it applies to my midweek pickups. So it was very interesting hearing some of the things he said. So I may piggyback off of him. I don't think I'm trying to bite or nothing. I'm just using his words as a pedestal to get to where I'm trying to go to and where I'm trying to get you to go to. Now, in life, there's a lot of life-changing events that happen, a lot of life-changing things. But you have to always be prepared for them, have to be planted strong in your foundation. You have to be rooted well, and you have to be ready for just about anything. Because it seems like in life, when you start doing things the right way, that's when everything floods in and starts trying to distract you or take you off your game or off your note. I've talked about it numerous times of how you have to make sure you be aware of your surroundings, watch your enemies, watch your friends that may be disguised as friends, but they're really wolves in sheep's clothing, and they're trying to, come up off of you or capitalize on something that you're doing. You always have to watch out for people like that, because when God is trying to do something in your life, and I was telling my friend this yesterday, good friend, I was telling him, when you're doing what you need to do, and God sees it, He will show out for you in your life. Meaning that you will see some of the things that you asked for maybe years ago are finally coming true or finally being answered. Or you may see that instead of the thought of every time something goes good, something goes wrong, it's taken away from me, you'll start seeing that things are more stable, things are more relaxed, things are coming to you a little bit better because you're doing right, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and God sees that. And then a lot of people get the misconception and they think that the devil's at work when tragedy strikes. But you have to always know that sometimes that's really not the devil. Sometimes that's God testing you. He's putting the test out there for you so He can see what you're going to do and how you're going to handle it. So when He's ready to bless you with whatever you've been asking for, He's just trying to reassure that you're actually ready and mature enough to handle what you've asked for. So He'll throw a test out there for you. A test could be anything, but it's 9 times out of 10 going to be the one thing that you have the most trouble with. I've talked about weaknesses before in previous midweek pickups. I've talked about you being your worst enemy and you being your greatest ally, because you know what your weaknesses are. So you should be able to peep something before it happens, especially if it's a test. If you're in line with God and you know what you're supposed to be doing and you know that you're doing God's work and you know that, hey, I'm on the straight and narrow, He's going to throw that curveball in there at you just to see what his child is going to do. It's not to discourage you. It's not to, say that, hey, you're not ready and I'm going to mess it up for you. No, it's to see if you're grounded enough, if you're stable enough to handle what God has to throw at you. Temptation is the biggest thing that we all have issues with. Temptation can come in any form or fashion. We could be tempted by the opposite sex, of course, by money, by coming up fast and getting to where you want to be at, taking shortcuts. Anything can be tempting to you, but you have to know and realize, hey, I know that some things are going to be more tempting and I can sway them away. I can push them away real quick. But some things are going to be so tempting because you've wanted them so bad, or you've seen yourself in this situation before and it's finally happened. And on this hand, it's easy as hell to go on and take the temptation. It's easy because it's left out there for you. It's like this. It's like this. But the thing that you're working hard for is all the way up here. So you looking at temptation and you looking at what you're working for. And like I said, temptation could be anything. It could be, how to get up there faster the wrong way, which you're going to fall and fail. But it could be anything. It could be a woman. It could be a man. It could be wanting something. It could be a child. Anything could be the temptation. But you have to realize that in order to get here, you have to put in the work so you can throw temptation away and then focus on working and getting up there. I've always said that when you aim high, you're going to reach the clouds. And it's nothing else up there for you to hit your head on. But when you aim low, you're going to risk the chance of hitting the ground, falling flat. And it's going to be hard and it's going to hurt. But you have to realize when you aim low, it's something that's going to stop you right when you hit the bottom. It's going to mash you. But when you aim high and you aim for a goal that's high and it's in the sky, the thing about the sky is when you aim up and when you look up, you can't see the end of it. You can't see where the sky tops off at. You're not going to see that because it's not for you to see. You get the most powerfulest telescope in the universe, the galaxy, but you cannot see the top of the sky. So when I say aim for the top, aim for the sky, I'm telling you to aim for something that you're always going to have the notion to go higher, to go more above what you got. You might get here and you might be, man, I'm good. I'm at the level playing field. I'm right where I want to be. But the difference is it's real closer to hit that ground than to keep going up, surpass this level, go to this level. But then when you look up, you don't see the ground. You see the sky, and the sky's the limit. So you're supposed to keep aiming for it. Keep on aiming for it. Because if you don't, then you go start doing this. And then it's going to happen again. And then it's going to happen again. But the thing is we could be all the way up in the sky. We could be on the moon, if you will. And have the powerfulest telescope in the galaxy. We can look back down on the earth. And you know what we go see? The ground. But when you look up, you don't see the top of the sky because there's no limit. But when you look down, you're going to see the ground. And if you aim low enough, or if you let certain things into your life that shouldn't be into your life, when you're trying to get to where you want to be, you're going to hit that ground. And that's what we're not trying to do. We're trying to evolve here. I say change is important all the time because change is evolutionary. If you don't grow, how are you becoming better? How are you getting to the next level? You're not, because you're not growing. You're not willing to put in the work. You're not willing to say, let me do an overhaul on my life. Let me look at the things that I did in the past and know that this is going to happen or this may happen, and be able to peep the roads that you should go down and the roads that you shouldn't go down. I try and inspire and encourage people every day of my life. Every day, no matter what. No matter if I'm having a terrible day, a horrible day, I'm still trying to inspire people because positive vibes is what's going to get you through a tough situation. But then at the same time, sometimes you just need to hear somebody else. You need to hear somebody tell you, or hear somebody that has been through something similar than you, or just see something for yourself that, hey, if he got through this, I know I can get through this. Or if he did this, I know I can do this. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the mind state. It's all about being positive, but also it's all about knowing what's out there, what's going to stop you, what's going to get in your way, what's going to trip you up, what's the temptations that are going to come after you the most. What is it that is going to drive you to aim higher? What is it that is going to potentially make you crash that you need to avoid? What is it? You need to find it out, because once you find that out, then when you're right here, once you find out everything and you peep everything, then that's when you start getting the right here. And then that's where God's going to be like, hey, I done put the test on my child and they passed it. And that's good. And I see that my child recognized that I was the one testing them. You know what I'm saying? Just really think about it. Think about it for real. Like, when God does something in your life, you know that he did it for you. You know it. Period. It ain't nothing else. Like, you know. Like, I've seen so many people try and denounce God, or try and, play the role like they didn't need God or whatever. Second tragedy strikes. Second something amazing happens that, they didn't think was going to happen. They go slip up. They'll be like, oh my God, or thank you, God. And then, they go look, and then somebody that they've told before, I don't need God or whatever, they go look at them and be like, what did you just say? And then, oh, it slipped. No, it didn't slip. It's always been in you. You just tried to bury it. But then when tragedy strikes, you try and unbury it, uproot it real quick. Oh, I need you. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You have to be on that level, have a relationship, have a back and forth, if you will. You know what I'm saying? God is not somebody that you're just supposed to call when you need him. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him like he's your friend. He's your father. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him like that. Get up. You know what I'm saying? When you pray in conversation mode. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him. Tell him what you're going through. Tell him what you're feeling. Tell him what you want. That's the biggest thing that people miss in life. You know what I'm saying? They think that they're not supposed to tell God what they want. You are supposed to tell him, because if you don't tell him, how do you expect for him to give it to you? He may know that you want it. He may know it, like, for real. Like, I know God knows everything that I've asked for, everything that I want, everything that I wanted. I can look back on my life and see I failed at this test, I passed at this one, I failed at this one, I passed at this one, I might fail at this one again, but my grade might be a little closer to passing this time, because it may still be a weakness, but I'm getting stronger in my weakness. You know what I'm saying? When I was making a 68, you know what I'm saying, now I'm making a 75. Yeah, it may be passing to certain people's mind state, but in my household, a C wasn't what was up. You know what I'm saying? So, you trying to get A's and B's and really just all A's. You know what I'm saying? But it's a hard journey to do that. But when you have the right person on your side, when you have your father walking with you, you know what I'm saying, and you're following him, you're following him. God's not gonna follow you. He'll protect you. But it's not his job to follow you. You're supposed to follow him in his word, his son's word. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to end it right there with that. But just always know. I tell y'all this all the time in my midweek pickups. You know what I'm saying? You have to be aware. Be aware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. You got so many people who trying to come up off of you, and they see it. They see what you're trying to do, and you know what I'm saying, they try and take it for themselves, and they try and own it, and they put it in your face, you know what I'm saying, and you like, you wasn't even doing this before you see me doing it, and they like, well, I thought it was a good idea. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they're not doing it in a malicious way, maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe you're an inspiration to them, but you have to find the niche right there and see, is this somebody who's trying to really follow in my footsteps and try and, and do something similar to me? Or is this somebody who's seen what I was doing and who's trying to come up off of me and trying to make it off of me, and then it's going to leave me in the dirt once, it pops off for them? Think about that type of stuff. Evaluate people. Look at them. Read them all the time. Read people, because they've already probably read you. They might can peep your weaknesses, real quick, and you don't know. You don't know. You just there kicking it, trying to have a good time, and you think that's your friend. But then when it all come down to it, that ain't your friend. It's not your friend, man. Urban Roots, herbal tea, good stuff. But anyway, like I said, just be aware, man. No change is evolutionary. Know that some people aren't looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for themselves. Know that there are wolves in sheep's clothing. And above all, know that God is the Father. He's here to help us. He's here to help us succeed. He wants us to, but we have to want it too. And we have to do it the right way. Don't let temptation get you. Like I said, it's right there. It's right there. But your goal is up here. So you go reach low, or you go aim high. God first, family second, everything else to follow. Peace out, people.